good evening, good evening. Let me tell you something. Today is the day that the Lord has made, and I am definitely excited. I'm going to rejoice and be glad in it. I got up this morning around 5 a.m., which is normal, but today was a little, kind of teacher plan today, so I didn't have to get up at 5. But when the Lord placed this on my heart to do this show, I was ready. I was ready for this show, ready for my guest today. And it has been a long time coming. And I've been wanting her on my show. As a matter of fact, I've been wanting both of them to be on my show. So I'm so happy this evening to have Sadria Strong, Miss Strong, a name that is so applicable to her. It is an adjective that fits her to a T. Okay. And then I have Mr. Andrew Hobbs, who is a recipient of the person that we are honoring today. Now, just in case y'all don't know, today is, make sure I get my picture. All right. Oh, wow. Today is National Organ Donor Day. It's National Organ Donor, Life Month. It's a month. It's no longer a day. It's a month. So I'm glad I had it there to be able to share with you. And also today we are honoring and remembering the beautiful Brianna Brooks. Brianna Brooks. Make sure I say her name right. So Miss Brianna is a hero. Her life will forever be remembered. Her legacy. This young lady passed away and she became the gift of life for 4 people. And Mr. Andrews is that 4th person. Well, is one of the 4 people that she also saved. And then we also have Miss Amber, who was her donor. A recipient of Brianna's as well. So with Brianna saving 4 people, Andrew and Amber were the recipients. And that wonderful gift of life. And just in case you all don't know, 22 people die every day waiting for the gift of life. Now, Save 1,000 Lives is still active. We are still wanting to register 1,000 people to become organ donors in the honor and memory of the late Leonard Wayne Larimore. Guys, this year is year 3. April 25th, 2018, he passed away. One day after his birthday on April 24th. And so his legacy, just like Brianna's legacy, will continue because he passed away waiting because there were not enough people to become organ donors for someone his size. So this month is going to be very special. And y'all know the rules for the show. There's no crying. So I'm going to tell y'all right now, I got my crying out the way. No crying today. We're going to have a good time. We're going to stay in our happy places. Now, gotta show you one more thing. So just in case you want to go now and register at DonateLifeFlorida.org, please feel free. You see right here, how did you learn about Florida Donor Registry? Click on Save 1,000 Lives, and that is all you have to do. So, before I bring them in, I need y'all to tell me where y'all from. Where are y'all? Where's everybody from that's watching? And if you have any questions, please, by all means, let us know. So, let me make sure I'm looking. There's my parents, always ready. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Yes, and we are ready to see these guests. Okay, I told my dad I always try to stay under 30 minutes, but we might go a little longer today. And this is definitely going to be a part 2. Hello, Albany, Georgia. Hello, Harris. All right, y'all here, y'all see him. So today we are coming all the way from Georgia. We got some more people from Georgia, from Athens, Georgia. So yes, we going back. We going to Georgia. I frequent Georgia quite frequently on this show. So, without any further ado, I'm going to bring on another song, another strong sister like myself. Okay, now just because she was born in Miami, we got favor like that. All right, she was born in Miami. We are Miamians. Oh, hello, Brooklyn. Hello, Thomasville, Georgia. Hello, South Carolina. Let me tell y'all something. I'm so excited you all are here. I'm excited. Let me bring on Strong Woman. Hello.
Hello, hello.
How you doing? Y'all see her. She's beautiful. She is active. Let me tell y'all, okay, there is nothing that this woman doesn't do. Okay? Matter of fact, Miss Strong, go ahead and tell them who you are and what do you do?
I'm a mother, a grandmother. I work full time. I'm a volunteer. I do speaking engagements. I'm a motivational speaker, and I'm a life coach. So I do a lot. I do a lot.
Okay, okay. And she, guys, those beautiful grandbabies, I got a peek at them earlier. They so pretty. They are absolutely gorgeous little girls. She's doing a great job. Somebody saying, yes, she is to me.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Cameron.
she's doing an awesome job. I have watched her and what she's doing, her motivation video. She's a good friend. She's a good best friend. I seen her give her a little shout out to her friend on her birthday. I wish my best friend did a video for me for my birthday. But I ain't gonna call her name. I ain't gonna call her name. So we are here today on National Donate Life Month.
Yes.
First guest on the show for April, and we are honoring Brianna. Yes. We are honoring Brianna. What a wonderful opportunity this is for me to let everybody know. All right. I always feel, as Emmett said, I am the force behind the voices of organ donation. So whatever I could do to push it out there for more people to learn why it is so important to become organ donors, this is definitely one of the reasons why. And now I know, you made that decision to allow her to become an organ donor, and some families would have just opposed.
Yes.
But not you.
Oh, no.
Not you. And we're going to get into that story so that everybody understands why you made the life-changing decision and helped save 4 lives with your daughter given the gift of life. So can you please just tell us a little bit about your precious, loving angel, Brianna?
Well, Miss Brianna, she was this bubbly, energetic child. Always loved babies. She loved her baby brother. I had my son when she was 5. So she was like a second mom. Baby needs to be fed. And she knew his cry, whether it was a feeding cry. And I would look at her like, how do you know this? But she loved her brother. They had a bond from the moment he was born. She was that child in school that would give some of her lunch money and help other people have lunches. And that's just how she was. She would give her last for others. Very loving, very spunky too, fiery and feisty when she wants to be. But I really, at the age of 5, she wanted to be a pediatrician. We went to get her shots done for school, and her doctor, her pediatrician here, it was a female doctor, a Black female doctor, and she was like, I know what I want to be. I'm gonna be a pediatrician. And she definitely always, because I would ask her, I said, you still want to be a pediatrician? Like, yes. And she would research on what she needed to do for school. Like, okay, I got to take this class, I got to take this class. And even through high school, she went to a school dedicated. It was like a college style type of high school. So she was in the College of Health and Science. So she was already preparing herself for the medical field. So she knew what she wanted to do. So that conviction that she had stayed with her. And when she got her permit in high school, she had the conversation with me that, hey, my major organs, I'm gonna be a donor. Because she asked if I was one. I said yes. I've been one since I've had my license. So I said okay. We didn't have like a discussion like, you sure you want to do that or not? But being raised from a family of just being of service to others, giving, that was just something that just seemed natural to do of
Mhm.
others.
Well, okay. And there's a lot going on in
Yes,
this story. This
yes.
story has a lot of moving pieces, so I need everyone to make sure that you all stay stay with us so that you can hear
Yes,
this
yes.
this dynamic story.
Okay.
Okay, so um, just going back, take us. Ooh, do we want to go there right now? Oh, I do want to say this, and I want to put it here. And when I met her, her daughter saved 4 lives, but they also have a campaign, Brianna's Heart of Gold.org.
Yes.
All right. So if you are not a registered organ donor, you can go to this website as well. I am not selfish. If we could just get more people to
The
become
more the
organ
merrier.
donors, the more the merrier. So I wanted to put this out there so that everyone can see. If you want to go to Brianna's Heart of Gold.org, and she's an advocate for Donate Life Quest, as well. So on in a happy place. Tell us more about your granddaughters.
Oh, my granddaughters, Kaylee and Kylie. I call them the bear and the bean. Or Bean likes to be called bossy sometimes because she can be pretty much in charge.
Okay, okay.
So Bear and Bean, they're 10 months apart. So they obviously are like a joy. They're a joy to me because it's like seeing my daughter all over again, 2 times over. They have a lot of mannerisms. Their hands are like their mother's. They have their mother's hands. And when I see them sleeping, they sleep like her. And I go in there and I'm like, wow, it's amazing how the genetics is, DNA with
Mhm.
children. Kylie loves to sing and dance. Um,
Okay.
she wants to be on TV. She wants her own YouTube channel. And we're still debating that right now. Um, Kaylee is very athletic. She loves gymnastics. So we're looking at something for her to do during the summer. I know she got that from her father because he was very athletic as well. So she loves to do that. And they're both just lovable. They play well together. They very rarely fight with each other, but when they do, they make up. They love on each other. They support each other. They protect each other. And they have an older brother. So when he comes to visit, they just enjoy each other. They have Grandma Kiki weekend because usually they call me mom and sometimes they call me grandma, but when my grandson is here, it's Grandma Kiki. So that's
Okay.
me. And so
Okay.
the weekend is whatever they want to do. So they decide what movies we're going to watch, what we're going to eat. I'm a short cook. Giving the orders what they're gonna have for breakfast. Everybody wants something different for breakfast, and I do it because it's only one weekend out of the month. So we do that. We do some baking sometimes. Bake some cakes or some cupcakes, or just as long as we're spending time together. They ride their bikes outside, and but yeah, they're very they're doing extremely well. Um, and they're very well aware of what their mother has done as far as when they got to a certain age. I explained to them because they would ask questions, and so
Mhm.
they know about Donate Life. Because as a matter of fact, when I woke up this morning, the girls getting dressed and the youngest Kaylee was like, is it Donate Life month yet? And I was like, yes it is. Yes.
Oh,
So they have these I bought them t-shirts. I buy t-shirts every year. So they got their Donate Life shirts that they get to wear tomorrow, and on Blue and Green Day. So we're going
right.
to take some pictures, and we try to do some activity. We decorate the yard with Donate Life stuff and the garden flag and everything. So people know we have a wreath on our door that's
Oh,
year round. That's a Donate Life wreath that was custom made for me. So
how beautiful. How beautiful is that? Well, I want you to paint this picture for us.
You want to
and
dig
take
in?
us to the day that your life changed,
Okay.
and you also changed for
Yes.
other people's lives. So take
Yes.
us to that day.
So August 29th, Brianna and her fiance, we meet. We would meet every Friday in the mall parking lot, go over, you know, life plans, 3-month plan, 4-month, 6-month plan, and they were in the process of waiting for their apartment in a gated community, and they were living with his stepfather and mother, and so he was going to take her out the next day, just to pamper her. She was having a baby shower the following weekend. And so Brianna had asked me to make her some spinach dip, and she wanted 2 pans, one for herself and one for everybody else. And so she was kind of nervous. She was nervous about raising 3 kids, having 3 kids at a young age, and she wasn't sure if she was capable enough or strong enough, like I was raising, her brother and her. And I said, absolutely. I said, you're going to have all the support. You have your soon-to-be husband, and you have me and your extended family. And I asked him, I said, you sure you want to marry her? Because I know my child. And
I want to pause for 1 second, just so everyone knows we're planning a wedding,
yes, baby
getting
shower was following weekend.
baby shower, wedding, moving. All of these moving parts are happening. So that you got a lot going on regardless, right? All
Yes,
right. And
there's
so
a
you
lot
still
going on.
have to, you're going to
Yes,
marry my daughter.
absolutely. He said he
And
was going.
what's his name?
Durante. Durante is his name. Yeah,
All
Durante
right.
Brown.
I just want to make
He
sure we
is a
say his
hero.
name.
We call him our hero. He was with mommy.
Okay.
So he absolutely said yes. He says, I love your daughter so much, I will die for her. That's how much I love her. I love him. He says, I love my family. I'm going to protect my family. We're going to be one big happy family. And I said, okay. So she came up with the name for the baby, which I was so glad because it was hard trying to find the name. So she named the baby already Kaylee, because the older sister is Kylie. So I said, okay, and the reasoning was Irish twins because they're so close in age. So she wanted a name similar to Kylie's name. And I said, okay. So I rubbed her belly and kissed her. I said, okay, Kaylee. I said, Grandma Kiki can't wait to see you. I can't wait to be there when you're born. I was there for the birth of her brother and her sister, so I had planned on being there as well for the birth of Kaylee. And so I gave my daughter some Zerbert, and she hated that, but she loved it. I think she really loved it. She just acted like she didn't like it, and I told her I loved her, and she said, "I love you, Mom. Thank you for supporting me, even when I did things you didn't like, but you've always been constant with supporting me and loving me, and that's never changed." So I needed her. I always made sure that in spite of I might disagree, you knew I still loved you. She might get mad with me. 5 minutes later, she's calling me. I'm sorry, Mom. I love you. It's all good.
That's right.
So see that glow on her face. She was glowing. She was happy. He was excited, and I gave them both a hug. I told them both I loved them. He was like, "We love you too." And she's like, "Don't forget about my spinach dip." I said, "Okay." I won't. And she's hanging out the window, 7 months pregnant, just waving out the window like, "I love you, Mom." And I'm like, "I love you too." And I'm like, "That's my child." So I go home. At the time, I was staying with my aunt, and I went. Uh, had a light dinner, went to bed, and my phone rings about close to midnight, a little after midnight, and I would still sleep. It woke me up. It startled me because I'm a sleeper where if anything wakes me up, I'm like, oh, and I'm still in a state of sleeping. So I heard, Brianna's been kidnapped, and I just hung up the phone because I probably thought I was dreaming, and I hung up the phone, and I laid down, and the phone rang not even a minute later, and it was her stepmother, and she told me that Brianna and Durante were kidnapped. Um, and so my aunt came downstairs because I yelled and I told her what happened, and she was like, "We gotta go," and I'm like, "Yeah, we gotta go." So I'm throwing on whatever I could find. I don't know what I had on, but I just put something on. I put some shoes on, and we drove to Decatur. Just to see what was going on. Once we got to the street, it was lined with police cars on both sides of the street. And I was busy trying to find whoever was in charge. And when they directed me to the person, I was like, I need to know what's going on. I'm Brianna's mother. She's pregnant, like 7 months pregnant. And they were working on the logistics. We're trying to bing the tower to find out exactly their location. All we know is they've been kidnapped. That is and they were trying to get answers the people that were living in the house, from his stepfather. And I was getting agitated, so I just went and sat in my car. My aunt did the best thing by telling me to sit in the car and wait. So after a while, I told the detective, I said, just give me a call when y'all have an update, because I need to know what's going on. So by the time we were driving, we were halfway home, he called and was going to do an Amber Alert on Brianna. And so they asked for a description of Brianna, her height, her weight, any tattoos or whatever. And I was able to get that to her. So by the time we got to the home, we turned on the TV, we were waiting for that Amber Alert, and it never happened. And so I called again, trying to find out what's going on. The police told me at that time to just head to Grady Hospital, head to the emergency room. That's all we can tell you. And so I'm thinking, okay, maybe she had an asthma attack because she was asthmatic. And so caring for her at the emergency room. So I get to the hospital, find the emergency room, and I meet her father there. And I saw a room with a lot of family members and familiar faces. And I was like, okay, I don't like the way they look, and let me go down this hallway. And I waited, and her father was with me, and a nurse found a doctor and another woman who happened to be a social worker, and they brought us in a separate room, and explained to us that Brianna was found. They had to do an emergency C-section to deliver the baby, and she has less than 24 hours. She suffered a gunshot wound to the back of her head. And so I will need to make preparations for her, as well as the baby, probably, because she probably will not survive. From that point, I'm not sure how I remember getting off the elevator because it seemed like a fog. I don't know. I know my aunt was with me, and they signed us into the hospital ICU floor. Of course, she wasn't there under her name because it was an active investigation. She couldn't be in the hospital under her name. Her name was Juliet 7680, and I remember that. I thought it was, so they walked us to the L-shaped hallway, and the nurse explained to me, like, look, what you're going to see, it's not, it doesn't look good. However, she is on a ventilator. We don't know if she can hear you or not. So it would be best to, keep your composure, and so she won't hear it in your voice. And so her father went ahead of me because I still got to get myself together. And I heard her father, let out a little cry. And I've never heard him cry. I said, let me go in. And when I walked in, it was just, I can't believe this is my child in a bed. Like someone would do this to a pregnant woman. My thought was somebody really shot her. Not only, they handcuffed her behind her back, had her on her knees, and shot her in the back of her head. They did the same for her fiance.
Okay.
And he died immediately.
And they shot him multiple
twice.
times. Okay.
Yes.
And so instantly he passed away.
Yes.
Yeah. And so as a mother of two daughters, hearing this story, when your children go off to college, that little thing in the back of your head, like, just let them be okay. Just let them be okay.
Yes.
And they wonder why I'm sometimes overly motherly. Look, just call me, let me know. If you get on the road, call me, let me know. Mom, just look, for my sake, just let me know that you're okay. So this is a parent's worst nightmare. And, everybody's, it's a wild factor right now in the, oh my God factor. But
I couldn't believe we were really sitting here watching, her father was on one side and I was on the other. He was holding her hand and kissing her cheek, and he whispered in her ear, Daddy's here. And we saw a slight little tear come out of her eye. So I felt that she could hear her father. So
Mhm.
I told her, we're here. We're not going to leave her. I told her her children were safe because I did make sure the children were safe. So they were with family. And the baby needed a lot of medical attention. I had to sign a lot of paperwork. Um, those 3 days where it was busy, like, they were always asking me, don't you want to go see the baby? And I'm like, no. I said, my baby's right here. I said, I got to make sure this baby is okay. And the nurses were literally like, Miss Strong, you really need to go home and get some rest. If anything changes, we'll let you know. So I went home, take a quick shower, and lay down, but I didn't go to sleep. And I just sat up and I told my aunt, let's go back to the hospital because I can't. I was just, I needed something. I called my all my family members. My aunt helped. So she was on a ventilator for 3 days, and so I allowed everyone, friends, family, um, to see her. Anyone that knew her. There was a limitation. I did not allow the other side of the family, um, from her fiance's side, because I wasn't sure who to trust because of the situation that happened, because they were kidnapped from that home. So I needed to make sure that they were protected, that she was protected.
Right,
Um,
absolutely.
but everybody else did have an opportunity to see her, um, to say their last goodbyes to her. At the time, her brother had just went to college a week before his freshman year. So having to make the drive to college with my friend, I have to explain to him, you got to come home, and explain why you got to come home. That's absolutely devastating. They
Absolutely.
were the best of friends. They were like yin and yang together. Because he wanted to see her before he went to college. So before he went to college, I have a picture of them together. Before he went to go see her, and they talked and they had a good time together. And she was super proud of him. And so he had a chance to spend some time with his sister. Um, but it was just heartbreaking because that's his sibling. That's his only sibling. I had two, and she was my only girl. My firstborn.
Mhm.
So during those 3 days, after the third day, the doctor said we could do a brain test. And I'm like, that's great. I said, I believe in the power of prayer. I told that doctor, I said, I don't know what you think, but I got all these people around me praying. My father is there. My father's a minister. He was praying. And so we were down the lobby. I paced the lobby, I don't know how many times. And it took a little longer. And when they finally paged us that they were ready, I said, okay. We went upstairs. They said, look, the doctor says, I'm going to tell you one thing. I had so much faith. You gave me so much faith. He said, I ran that test more than once
Okay.
because I wanted to see something. I wanted to see some kind of life, something happening with that test with Brianna. He says, but Miss Strong, unfortunately, you had to declare Brianna brain dead at 6:16 p.m. He says, however, Brianna can save lives. And I was like, okay, what is that? I never really connected um, driver's license, organ donor. So he asked, would you be willing for Brianna to be a donor? I said, oh yeah, she's a registered donor. She had a permit. She wanted to be a donor. She told me only major organs. However, being a volunteer and learning about organ donation, I would have given more of her. It's because more people would have been saved. Um, but doing that, her father left because he was just very emotional. That's his firstborn. So he left, and I took care of the preparations, and we were introduced to the OPO here, the Organ Procurement Organization, which is Lifelink of Georgia. They had a nurse her name was Lucy Insco, and I will never forget her name. She is forever a part of my family. She took such great care. We went into Brianna's room. They did a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. She read a beautiful poem thanking Brianna and honoring her for the gift she was about to give. Of course, my father did the prayer. And my mom sang a beautiful song for Brianna. And everyone got a chance to say their very last goodbyes. And I was the last person in that room. I sat by her bed and I told her, I said, you're going to do some amazing things, little girl. I said, Mommy is so proud of you. You are a Wonder Woman. Let me tell you something. I said, I love you. I said, your children will know what you have done. I said, everyone will know. Your legacy will forever live. And I love you so much. I don't want you to ever think that I've never given up on you. And, but I love you. I kissed her hands, her feet, her cheeks. I just wanted to touch her and feel her for the last time. And I stopped at the door and Lucy was like, I'm not going to leave her. I promise you. I will be with her the entire time. And I will let you know when everything is complete. And
I think some people are often intimidated or afraid of when they visit the room. And oftentimes people tell them no.
yeah,
But because you were so vocal with your daughter and you all had such a great relationship, you knew that that was something, that she wanted to do and you honored her wishes.
yes,
And oftentimes some people try to say no, you know, I know they're an organ donor, but no. But if they are an organ donor, you have to allow them their
honor.
best and honor their wish to help save
Not
lives.
only that, you're creating a legacy for them.
Exactly.
You're creating a very big legacy for them. It's important.
Right.
And I didn't want Brianna to be the victim, the gunshot, the gun violence victim. That's not going to be. She is a hero for saving lives.
Right. Change the narrative. We're going to
Yes,
change the narrative of what
absolutely.
happened. And,
Yes,
let's just say how strong, being your child, she was to stay alive that long while carrying that baby until someone found
found
her.
her. A gentleman coming from work on a third shift found her, and
Right.
he couldn't believe she was still. He visibly thought she was pregnant. He saw the gunshot wound in the back of her head,
Mm-hmm.
and she was still breathing. He was like, "I can't believe this. She is breathing."
Mm-hmm.
And he called 911, and he is definitely, I'm grateful that he was able to be there at that time to
Yeah.
save Brianna, be able to save that baby.
Right. It's just a remarkable story, and I know people are sending hearts and
Oh,
just sending love, for you. That's my good friend. Hey Ray, hey George, and again my parents. Everybody is sending prayers, and a good, of course, good Tony. Hello, my
I
brother.
know.
Yeah, yeah. So I just wanted to make sure, and let me tell you all right now, y'all know that if you know my child, hey Camille, and my parents, I'm a water bag. All right. So I will be honest with you all and tell you all, when we had our pre-interview, we had our good cry. Okay.
Yes,
We're in a happy place right now
yes,
because we're going to celebrate her life. This is a
yes.
celebration of life.
Mm-hmm.
And again, she said it, and someone asked me today, hey, when people keep this type of momentum and stories and legacies you want to continue, are they necessarily playing want to play the victim role? I said, I assure you right now,
Mm,
none of my guests has ever wanted anybody to pity them.
absolutely.
um, they, in a way that they celebrated life and their resilience, and it was a testimony. The test that they are enduring or endured
Yes,
was a testimony for somebody else to let them know, hey, you can make it through and you can get to where I am. So what does it look like to get to the other side and make it through? You see this strong woman right there? That's her name. Like, there's not another name that's befitting to her than just strong. Her faith,
absolutely. That's number one.
her faith is impeccable. It's empowering. And we the connection that we had, because this story is just so, the parallelism to the story. I promise you, when we were in that room, I think we broke some
Yes.
kind of law with how many people were in the room to say goodbye. So we've had this time, and we did bond over um, our story together. But two strong women standing here right now, letting you know you can make it through. You can inspire others, and you can tell your story as well. You know, everybody got a test, and you got to have a testimony. And thank you all, again, for everybody that's watching. And we are going to remember her. And at her,
Yes.
your daughter went from, hey, Miss Murray, Adrian Murray, your
Oh,
daughter
yeah.
went from Grady. Now,
Grady
anytime
to Emory.
to
Um,
Emory,
Grady's a trauma hospital, so time was of the essence. So they had to move her, and so they called and let me know. Lucy called and said we've got to move her, and I said absolutely. I said we need to be able to save some lives, and so they did that. They transported her to Emory. That day it was one of my friend's birthdays, and we still have family in town.
right.
We wanted to celebrate his birthday, so we said let's go. I think we went to Arizona's or something, out near the mall somewhere. We just got together, and there's about 30 of us maybe, but they had to we had time trying to wait for us to get a table. So when they finally got us a table, um, I had the phone call. So I was like, and it was Lucy, and I was like, okay, you guys, I'll be right back. Got to wait the call. So I stepped out of the restaurant so I could hear. And so she says, everything is done. He says, Brianna was able to save 4 lives. She says, her heart, both her kidneys, and her liver. I said, and she says, not only that, Brianna was the only donor for that day. So a flag flew in her honor. They sent me a picture of the flag flying at the hospital. And she says, once that flag is flown for the rest of the day and it comes down, it will be mailed to you. And that flag is sitting on our mantle, and it has not moved. That's where it's been the past 6-7 years now. Because that's an honor, that she was able to do that. And so I am like, ooh, I got good news. So I went inside to let everybody know. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's great. That's wonderful. That's a blessing. My dad was like, that's a blessing. My granddaughter, that was their first grandchild.
Right.
So, they were like, she saved 4 lives. We thought about those 4 families that are now celebrating their loved one being saved. So we're celebrating not only that, but also a birthday. So our waitress comes and she's like, so what are we celebrating today? And we told her birthday, and she says, oh, that's wonderful. My name is Brianna, and I'm going to be your server. And I was like, woo! I jumped up from that table and ran out the restaurant.
I understand.
My mom had to explain to her what had just happened. So it just seemed so like immediately after I told everybody the news, and she comes to the table, I'm like, but she was an organ donor. So when I finally got back, she was like, your mom told me, I'm so sorry. She gave her condolences, and I don't think I ate. I think I had just something to drink. I think I drank water. I couldn't even eat. But get home, that those next few weeks, it was tough because I still had baby Kaylee in the NICU, still struggling. They're like, look, her heart's not fully developed, the valve's not fully. We got to give her more medicine. We got to put her under sunlight. She's got to get a suntan. They give you those little sunlights and her skin, and prevent jaundice. And I'm like, oh, but they told me, they said, look, it's going to be up to her to survive, and more than likely she will have, she'll probably have a hearing aid, vision issues. She'll definitely have developmental issues. Just be prepared for the hard work of taking care of a child with possible disabilities. And I was like, okay, I'm it for her. I am. She doesn't have her mother and father, so now it's my responsibility. And I Thanksgiving, it was just me and my son. I think my aunt went to go visit, I think, my mom and dad in Florida, but we didn't want to travel because I still had Kaylee in the hospital. And so we had Chinese food for Thanksgiving, and my son was like, he says, "Mom, it's time for us to do something to honor Brianna. We got to start doing something." And I received the letters from LifeLink about the recipients, and so I said, "Okay, well, I can start writing some letters. So I'll commit to writing 3 times a year. I write during the holidays, around Thanksgiving, Christmas time. I'll do a New Year's letter and then a summer letter. And all I shared in there was about the children, what they're doing, what I'm going to be doing, honor Brianna, um, asking them, I hope, because the letters gave us the age of the recipient, whether male or female, the state or city they're from, and then a few hobbies if they had any. So they gave us that information. So I would ask, one guy, I'd write like, "I hope you have a chance to go back to fishing and enjoying time with your family." And I just wanted them to know that we pray for you. My entire family prays for you for a long life, a healthy long life. That gift that was given to you was given because Brianna would want it that way. I said, "You are part of our family. We are connected." And I just signed it as Donor Mom Sadria. And of course, with my name is so unusual. It's not anything like Jill or Amber. It was just people were able to connect and find out who I am. So that's how the heart recipient was able to connect with me. She was able to connect with my son and connect with me. So that's how I got in contact with the first recipient who reached out to me. So
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we actually have another guest today, and I just sent him a message just to make sure, "Hey, you okay? You ready, sir?" And they call him Uncle Drew.
Uncle Andrew.
Uncle Andrew. We call him
Yes.
Uncle Andrew. And because this strong woman here said yes, he is here in a lot of it. And like I said, we will have to have a part two.
Yes.
Because I'm telling you, it is so impactful. It is so impactful. I explained to him, please be ready next week because we're going to do part two of this. But I just want to bring Mr. Hobbs. And Mr. Hobbs is the creator and brainchild behind Black Donors Matter. And you can find that on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook is Black Donors Matter. And on Instagram is under his name, Andrew Hobbs. So of course, we know Black Donors Matter as well. And he got a whole shirt, y'all. So hopefully he's able to tell y'all where y'all can purchase these shirts. Help him out, okay? So without any further ado, Mr. Andrew Hobbs. Hello, Mr. Andrew. How are you?
I'm doing well. How y'all doing today?
We are doing just great. I definitely wanted to switch that up a little bit so everybody can see, and everybody has just sending all of these well wishes.
I see everything. Thank you all so much.
Unbelievable. Yes, Tony, Georgia is representing. I love Georgia. I just can't live there because y'all don't have no beach. I can't live there. They don't have no beach. I need a beach, y'all. See, I gotta go to the beach. It's a necessary evil for me just to unwind. Okay, so thank y'all, everybody. Mr. Andrew,
Yes.
tell us a little bit about yourself, sir.
Well, my name is Andrew Hobbs. I live in Albany, Georgia. I'm 43, about to be 44. I have one daughter, and she's 14 right now. I volunteer, and I run Black Donors Matter, and I'm trying to enhance it and encourage everyone to become organ, eye, and tissue donors. Help somebody, save somebody's life, give them a second chance at life. And that's my goal.
And so, just so everybody knows and understands, what did this strong lady do to just change your life, give you a second chance, allowing her daughter to become the gift of life that you need. How did she just impact your life? Both of them. How did they both impact your life?
Well, Brianna impacted me by literally giving me a second chance at life. At the time when I was going through my thing, I didn't think I would make it. I didn't know what to do. I was spiraling, and my hope was bleak, and I just really didn't think that I would be saved. And along came a beautiful girl, young lady named Brianna, and even though her story is very sad and disparaging, she did something so great that it just overtakes anything that bad that we could think about it. And she saved my life directly. I mean, I may have had 3 weeks, maybe had a month, but she directly saved my life and then right on time. And that's what God does in our lives. He comes right on time, not our time, but his time. And Brianna came right on time, and Miss Strong, you know, that strong lady right there,
Right there.
right there. Uh,
Right there. Yes,
she
sir.
she speaks so positive about life, and she's so encouraging to me. Then when I met her, I was so sad, and I was like, I just don't deserve this. I didn't deserve a second chance. I didn't, you know, why God chose me, and then she let me know that what was for me was for me. Her daughter's death was tragic, but her saving my life wasn't a mistake, and that I deserve everything that happened for me. And
Absolutely.
and I really appreciate. I love her. I love the kids. I love the family, and you know, it's just something that I can't explain. The feeling that I get is so overwhelming at
Right.
times to think about how I got saved.
Absolutely. And so for those naysayers that says, no, we shouldn't become an organ donor, and you are living proof on why we should understand that black donors matter as well. What would you say to the naysayers? Because listen, now next week I told you pencil me in. No, 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 don't pencil me in. Pin me in. Because we've got to tell your full story next week. So all these people that's right here right now can come back next week. But I just want you to talk to those people that are on the fence about organ donation.
If you're on the fence of becoming an organ donor, a living donor, or eye tissue donor, or anything above, just look around your family right now. Look at your mother, your father if they're living, your children and your cousins and all the people that you care about. And just imagine one day in the blink of an eye, something happens to one of those people. And you need someone who you don't know, who you never seen before, you never heard of, to save you or someone that you love life. Now imagine it's someone who does that. How does that make you feel? How would you feel if someone you didn't know just came along and saved your life? So if you don't understand what organ donation means, get educated. Go find someone who does this, who's who volunteer, who's an advocate for organ donation, and learn what it means to become an organ donor. They just don't take your organs like some people may say or may think. It's a process. And in that process, at the end of that process, it is so gratifying. I'm
Mm,
here. I'm speaking to y'all right now because someone became a gift to me. Someone thought more of themselves, of someone else than themselves. And they saved my life. And it's nothing I could say to explain how grateful I am for that gift that they gave me.
Okay, Pastor, amen.
Look at that. Okay, yes. Preach.
Amen, because we got a hallelujah corner right
Yes,
here
we
for
do.
you.
Amen.
Yes,
Hallelujah.
I promise you, I don't think I could have said it any better myself, because those are facts. And so I listen. This is a powerful picture right here. I am what it looks like when somebody doesn't say yes. Sadria is somebody that looks like a person that says yes, and then he is a recipient of someone that said yes to give the gift of life. Let me tell y'all something now. This is why I love transplant talk. It is like no other. It is like no other. So for you all to put names, faces, voices right now, you see it. You can't change this. And mind you, we all African American. So we do matter. I'm an organ donor. She's an organ donor. He's a recipient, and um, still honoring. Hey, Steve. Still honoring all of these people whose lives have been changed. And I just want to go back to. I want to let me go back to my brand, because not only did she save their lives, but the gift kept giving, because this young lady, Amber, also received, but she also continued and saved someone else's life. Y'all, okay? Y'all see it? Y'all, y'all see it. So it did not stop. So she received, she also gave. And if we would just stick with that, if we would just stick, it's better to give than receive. Yes, I heard that. But nobody's saying that we coming for your organs right now. We just saying when you get your driver's license or go to any of these sites, like I said earlier, my site or Register Me or even Brianna's site, if you all would just please take into consideration Brianna's heartofgold.org, this baby just keep saving everybody. And what if her mother said no? It'd been a whole different story. Now, I told you it was gonna be a little long, a little lengthy day. I told you I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm sorry, but not sorry that that we had to just go this far. And again, Andrew, now don't leave me now, because I'm gonna need you next week. I'm gonna need you next week. And my dad said he probably shed his on hope when things seem hopeless. There you go. See,
Okay.
Andrew, my daddy is a pastor. You see how he took that already?
Yeah.
You see how he took and ran with that already. So that's my dad. That's what he does. But I don't want to leave the show. Hey, Miss Thelma. I don't want to leave the show without everybody knowing the consequences behind the gentleman that took your daughter's life.
Okay.
So
Both of those, I hate to say gentlemen, I just say the two men that kidnapped them were found. The DA's office, we did come to an agreement for a plea deal, which is 3 life sentences plus 65 years, no parole. Had we had waited, it would have been another 2 or 3 years before trial. We were just exhausted. There was no reason to just be in and out of a courthouse. We just wanted to make sure that they would never, ever be able to step foot out of a prison again, hurt anyone else. So we accepted that. I did get a few of my answers to some of my questions, and however, one of the men did answer a few of my questions very honestly, and a lot of those answers hurt. But at least he was honest about it. He was very truthful to the fact that he could not be apologetic for taking her life. He totally disconnected any type of feeling or emotion with what he did. He was there to get what he wanted. But I had to come, a lot of people were like, how did you, a majority of my family wanted the death penalty. That was on the table. However, it was just too lengthy. I had gotten to a point where it took a while for forgiveness. I don't forget, but I had to forgive in order to move forward and take care of these children. And for myself, I tell everybody my daughter has given me a voice. Prior to this, you wouldn't catch me on a Facebook Live sharing anything. Her death has given me a voice and has allowed me to step into the new me, and a better me. And I am thankful for her for giving me that opportunity to open my voice and share it. And I absolutely encourage people out there to be donors. And wherever I'm at, when I'm talking on the phone with the insurance company or whatever, I'm always asking somebody, are you an organ donor? And I let them know about my daughter. I briefly give that elevator pitch, like, let me tell you something real quick. And, that gives them some thought to be like, okay, maybe I'll think about it now. So anytime I have contact with anyone, it, either, if I have this on my pins, on my, on my jacket, people ask, or if I have my green band on, they're like, what's the green band about? And I share that. And so it's important. And also to include her children. And there it goes. That's what I'm talking about, Andrew. Yes, he represents. I love it. And Andrew has absolutely made me so proud. And I know Brianna is just smiling and beaming, like, look what I did. Look at Uncle Andrew. Look at him. Yes, Tony saw the florograph. Yes, Brianna was honored on the Rose Bowl, in the Rose Bowl parade on the Donate Life float. So,
and I was screaming. All the way from Florida. I was screaming.
Yes.
So glad you
all. Her two daughters and my son we were sponsored by LifeLink, and they paid for us to go and be there to see that float up close and personal, and to connect with other donor families, recipients, living donors. It was just a wonderful experience. I got a chance to work on a float and work on. I did the UPS float because our float was done. Donate Life, they get volunteers in California like that, and those people love working on the floats every year. I worked on the UPS float, and I made sure I put on my page. I circled that section I worked on, like I did this, so everybody knows. But it was fun to watch the process. It was fun to connect with other families and to hear their stories about their loved one. To know that, we are all a part of one big family. And we did a sand ceremony where every family member, every table of a family had a vial of sand that we poured in a big jar of sand. And at the end of the trip, everybody received a small vial. So this is a collection of all the sand of every family member. And so this is for the family of Brianna Brooks. So this is our collection of everyone's sand that was on that float. And just looking at the living donors and the recipients write on the floats, hear their story and how they honor their donor. It made me proud. And it makes me so proud to see recipients living, not just for them, but for their donor. And that makes me feel good.
And with that being said, everybody, tune in next week for part 2 with Mr. Andrew Hobbs. Y'all already heard him. Now he already kicked it off, but we don't know what else is behind that story. How long he was, on the dialysis. Like, we don't know. All right, but we gonna find out now, because y'all see now. I asked him. Now he gonna be here. And so we're going to do it all over again. And we're just going to still honor Brianna and the lives she's in the lives.
Yes, Adrian.
Yes, we're still going to do that. And thank you all again. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And, with it being April 1st, this is also the weekend of Easter. You know what? And ring that bell. Do what y'all got to do so that y'all know when I'm on. Please like my page, Say 1,000 Lives, and also go and like Black Donors Matter as well. So go ahead and like our pages and get the notifications on when we are going to go live. Yes, happy Easter to all. I have taken up enough of your time until next week. So I'm just going to leave the show with that. God bless you all. Happy Easter. Good
Yes.
Friday is tomorrow. Everyone, please be prayerful. I am hoping that within this time, guys, because I am at like 200 people and I'm trying to get past. So this month, I want to hit 500. I don't know if but I got to put it out there. Y'all know the pastors put things out there. So in the spirit of my daddy, I'm going to put that out there that we need to get 500 people. So that means you need to tell about 10 people. Everybody watch.
Yes.
Tell about 10 people to go and register to become organ donors in the honor of Brianna or Leonard Wayne Larimore. And, you know, guys, I say this all the time, and all of your getting, get understanding. And then we can stop all of these myths that we as a people have about organ donation. So again, go ahead and follow him on Black Donors Matters. That's Mr. Andrew Hobbs. And then again, we have Brianna's Heart of Gold. Go check out her page. And y'all just keep sending these messages. I am just
I saw that.
I am just happy. Thank you, everybody, all my friends. Thank you all.
Yes, thank you all.
All right, for watching the show. God bless you. And until next week, we're going to start with Mr. Andrew, Uncle Andrew. We're going to start right with him on next week. All right, we're going to pick it right back up. Hi, Miss Thelma, my sister. I love you so much and fellow teacher. All right, guys. So until next time, may God's light shine upon you. Become an organ donor.
Yes.
And in everything you do, again, get understanding. God bless you all. And good night. Y'all just be right there. I'm going to just take us on out of here. Again, God bless you all. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'm just so excited. I am super excited. So please, bye-bye.